Hello and welcome to Living Sarah, hosted here on Real Estate Daily Magazine. I have Sarah Cox with me in the. Where are you at in Texas? Are you in Dallas?
I am on the Fort Worth side of things. So I am on the west side of Fort Worth. So I'm in North Fort Worth. It's in a town called Roanoke.
Roanoke, Texas. How's things going out there in Roanoke?
Fabulous. It's
Terrific.
wonderful. Yes, it is
Nice.
going to be the center of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in the next few years, which is really strange because we're pretty far west.
Yeah.
We are a stone's throw away from the Texas Motor Speedway, if people know where that is.
Okay.
And it is a large, Indy racing car, racetrack. But anyway, so it's not the center currently,
Right.
but because of the amount of growth we're seeing, and it used to be pretty rural in this neck of the woods. And so when I heard that, I was like, what? No way. Dallas Fort Worth Airport is right in the middle and everything's thriving and growing around there. But as time has gone on, that prediction was about 4 or 5 years ago. As time has gone on, you could start seeing Roanoke becoming the center of the Dallas Fort Worth area. So
Gotcha.
growing, growing. It is wild to see the expansion that we have here. So economy is
Awesome.
amazing, real estate is amazing. So yes, it is a good place to be.
Neat, neat, neat. And speaking of growing and all that, we wanted to talk about growing into home ownership a little bit here. And you had something on your heart that you wanted to talk about because you're talking to so many people. Just to be clear, Sarah is a loan originator with Success Mortgage Partners, a very experienced originator, been doing this quite a long time.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, like when we started this conversation kind of in the green room here, you were talking about, man, there's something I really think I just have to say this because I think people just don't quite understand it. And I want to make sure that they have a clear understanding of this particular topic. So, what is it you wanted to chat about today?
Well, I wanted to debunk a myth,
Mm-hmm.
and this is something that I'm very passionate about, is because I do hear a lot of things out in social media land, in friends, conversations, or with my real estate partners, and they have conversations about what is the real cost of getting into a home.
Mm.
And I think that there is a lot of myths that surround that. Like, I need 20% down. My credit has to be excellent. There is no opportunity for me to get assistance with purchasing a home. I have to save for years and years and years. I need to be
Mm.
at the same job for 10 years. Like, I have heard some of the craziest things.
Mm.
I've heard people not even use the 20%. They've said $20,000, and that one
Oh,
surprised me.
interesting.
I
Yeah.
was like, where'd you come up with that number? Oh, I don't know. Somebody just told me it was
Right. It's
20,000. I'm like,
one person says one thing, goes to the next person, the next, and 10 people
game of
later, it's
telephone.
$20,000. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, it kind of goes back to you don't know what you don't know. And I usually use this example. Look, what do you do for a job? Oh, I'm a teacher. Okay, cool. That's amazing. Here's the thing. If I go on Google today and read about what it is to be a teacher, I don't think I could come to your job and do it tomorrow. I really
Mm.
don't. Even if I spent the entire day, we'll say 24 hours, crash course, learning what it is to be a teacher, I really couldn't effectively come in and do your job. I don't have the experience. I don't have the real working knowledge of it. And you know what? I haven't invested the time. So, same thing for us, right? As
Mm.
mortgage professionals, as real estate professionals, same for real estate agents. Um, Everyone has a design and a specific role within this industry. So,
Mm.
what I always encourage my clients to do is don't prejudge your situation. Don't assume you know because TikTok said it, your mom said it, your brother-in-law said it, your
Right.
friend said it, your neighbor said it.
Right.
Talk to somebody who has done it time and time again. I do this all day, every day, 8 to 10 hours a day.
Mm.
But I don't do it out of obligation. I do it because I love it and because I love seeing families achieve that goal of homeownership. So what I wanted to do is just debunk the myth of how much it actually costs to get
Mm.
into a home. So
Mm.
if you don't mind me boring the folks for just a second, no, I'm
Well,
kidding.
I'm
It's not.
riveted, so you've got my attention. So go ahead.
It it is a very simple equation. And again, I think taking the mystery and taking the confusion out of buying is all that I'm here for every single day. This is all I do. So there are two major loan program types out there, conventional loans and FHA loans.
Mm,
However, if you're a veteran, if you've served the country, there are VA loans. There are also USDA loans, but we'll put those on the back burner for now, and we'll
mhm.
just talk to our standard buyers using FHA or conventional loans.
Okay.
So with FHA, they require a minimum of 3.5% down.
Mm,
So we'll say on an average sales price in Texas, I don't
hmm.
think this is the same case everywhere, but in Texas,
Right.
an average sales price would be about $300,000.
Okay.
So on that end, you're looking at a down payment of $10,500. All
Got it.
right.
Hmm.
So simple equation. If you're wanting to know, hey, how much would I really need all in, not just down payment? So there are two different numbers here, down payment and closing costs. So I typically go with about 4% as being a standard percentage of what you're looking at for closing costs. So right now we're at 10,500 for the down payment, and then we're about 12,000 for the closing costs.
Mm,
So total amount somebody would need is about 22,500.
mm,
But here's the good news. There are so many different programs out there that will help cover that 10,500, the down payment.
mm.
And some of the programs even go all the way up to 5% towards the
Wow.
down payment and closing costs. So again, in this scenario, we're looking at a $300,000 sales price. And if we're taking, we'll just say we go up to the 5% that somebody might need. So if somebody
Mm,
needs the 5% total, it's $14,475, but we'll just call it 14,500 for now
hmm.
because it's
Hmm.
easier numbers. When I take 14,500, and that's the amount of assistance that you're getting from this program, and you needed 22,500, well, then that means $8,000 is what you would need in order to get into a home. And I feel like such a infomercial person because I want to say, but wait,
But wait,
there's
there's
more.
more. Yeah. Hmm.
Because here's the thing, the sellers can contribute towards
Oh,
those
wow.
closing costs.
On top of
And in
that.
this, absolutely. And in this market right now, I will tell you, sellers are a little more apt to take care of that.
Mm,
And on an FHA loan, here's the real number. On an FHA loan, the seller can contribute up to 6%, which is far above and beyond what you would
yeah.
need in this
Yeah.
scenario. If the seller is covering 6%, that would be $18,000. You don't need that much money
You
from the
need eight.
seller. You need eight.
Hmm.
So if you were to go to a seller and say, look, I know your house has been on the market for about 30, 45 days. Y'all want to make a deal? I'll give you 300,000 for it, but just cover my closing costs. Give me $8,000 and we're good all day.
So
Here
you
in
can get
Texas,
in
all day.
literally for almost nothing,
Almost nothing. The upfront cost is the only thing that somebody needs to take into
which is
consideration,
what?
which is going to be your earnest money.
Hmm.
Earnest money is essentially a deposit that you give the sellers, telling them in good faith you intend to purchase the home, that you're not
Right.
just going to arbitrarily back out of the contract for no reason.
Right. And
Obviously,
that's
there
counted toward
are
everything, right? That goes
absolutely.
toward the whole cost. Yeah.
It does. And typically it's about 1%. So if
Hmm.
somebody was looking at these numbers and said, okay, $300,000, what would I actually need to have in the bank at the time I decide to go under contract?
Mm,
So 1% would be $3,000.
hmm.
Typically, you would want to also do something called an option period, where it gives you about 5 to 7 business days or days to look at the home, the quality
Hmm.
of the home, the
Hmm.
inspection, all that good stuff. So
Make
that's
sure you like
typically
it. Hmm.
make sure you like it. That's typically about 100, maybe $200, but we'll just call it 100 for now. All this is negotiable too, by the
Mm.
way. So it's not set in stone. It's 1%, $100, none
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
It's something your agent can negotiate on your behalf. Inspections typically are about $500, and that fee goes directly to the inspector for doing the work that they do up front. And then the other fee, the only fee that's paid us up front, is going to be the appraisal fee.
Mm,
And that appraisal fee costs anywhere from $500 to $600. Again, we'll just go with 500 for now.
mm,
So total, what you would need is about $4,100.
mm,
And again, but wait, there's more.
mm.
$4,100 is what you would need, but like you said, and we said earlier, that $3,100 goes back to the clients, right? It goes
Right.
back to them.
If the
It's
seller's
credited.
covering, if we got the assistance, plus we got the seller to cover, basically the buyer would get their deposit money back, right? Their
Exactly.
earnest money. Okay.
So what the client would be coming out of pocket with is going to be that inspection fee and the appraisal fee, which is about
Mm,
$1,000. So the cost, the real cost to get in to a home, if you're using down payment assistance, if you're asking the sellers to cover your closing costs, is about $1,000. Now, we just talked about this a minute ago. Renting, there's no way. You have your first month's rent, you have your deposit. And we'll just say that on a $300,000 house, you're probably going to be paying at least $3,000 a month. And if that's times two, that's $6,000. And then,
Mm.
oh, wait, you have a pet? That's an additional either pet rent or a pet
Yeah.
deposit, which could
Yeah.
probably run you $500. So right
Yeah.
now we're at $6,500
Yeah.
and they're going to check your credit still. And you have to pay for an appraise or what do they call it? Application fee, I think.
Right. Right. Application fees. Yeah.
I mean, you're definitely getting closer to $7,500, give or take, obviously, depending
That's
on
to
the
rent a
property.
place.
And
Right.
that's to rent a place. And so the common phrase or the common, sentence that I get is it's cheaper to rent or interest rates are high. I just remind them, look, here are the numbers. Math doesn't lie.
Mm.
These are the numbers. And the reality is that if you believe the interest rates are high, and I'm offering you, and on these programs, I will tell you the down payment assistance programs are the ones who determine the interest rates. And they're posted. It's the Texas Homebuyer Program and the Texas State Affordable Housing Corporation. They post their rates. They're transparent about how much they are. And they're about 6.5%.
Mm.
So again, I go back to if you're thinking that interest rates are too high and it's at 6.50%, do you realize that the interest rate on renting is 100%?
Yeah.
Like it's all going towards nothing. A hundred
Right.
percent of your money goes towards zero.
Nothing.
The landlord at the end of the year doesn't give you a check and say, "Hey, thank you so much for building the
Right.
equity in my home. Here's a
Here's
check."
your slice of the equity. Yeah.
No,
No.
they say thank you. And by the way, next year rent's going up.
Right. By the way, we're going to have to kick that up a notch or two. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, that's really cool. And by the way, I just want to say great job on being able to verbally, clearly explain that without any visual aids. That was really good because, I got it. I completely got it. I think anybody watching or listening had to have gotten that as well. So great stuff, man. Very, very
Thank you.
cool.
I do this often.
It's awesome. Well, Sarah, thanks so much. Listen, if somebody is heading to Roanoke, right, or the surrounding area, you cover all of Texas, no problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah, going to Texas, maybe even to Roanoke, right? But if they're heading that direction and they want some help, maybe talk to you a little bit, see what they can do. You can help them out, right? We'll put all
You
your
bet.
contact information down below. So if you're watching this on the Real Estate Daily magazine, guys, all of Sarah's contact information is right down below. Just scroll down below. But if you're watching this on YouTube, it's in the description. If you click in the description, being able to contact Sarah is there. That applies to real estate agents as well, right, Sarah? You're obviously one of the most respected lending professionals in the area. So if we have some real estate agents that may be watching this and want to get connected with you, you're willing to talk to them too as well, right?
You bet. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's really easy to connect with me. It's just meetupwithsarah.com.
Mm.
And you could just go schedule some time so that we could either meet in person, via Zoom, over the phone, whatever works best. And also, as a side note, I am bilingual. I speak Spanish fluently. So if clients ever have a preference as to which language they prefer, or if real estate agents need a trusted professional, I'd be happy to take care of their Spanish speaking clients as well.
So we'll put that down below on the magazine as well, meetupwithsarah.com, right? We'll also put
Yes.
it in the YouTube description so you can just connect with Sarah easily. Sarah, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us here, everybody, at livingsarah.com. I love this name for your podcast, livingsarah.com. It's absolutely fantastic. So,
Likewise.
yeah, very, very cool. So thanks for joining us here. If you got questions for Sarah, you can contact her at her contact information down below or in the description with that. Have a great one, everybody. Thank you, Sarah. We'll catch up with you again here real soon.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
See you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.